Hey everyone, so we're picking back up where Cyrus has decided to further investigate those spiders. Yeah, let's see how that goes.
See if there is a big bad somewhere here.
So you're sliding in?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So
Yeah.
you slide into the garden apartment, and as you do that, you're in human form, right?
Yeah, but I'll transform my arm to Garu.
Just, brah! So two lethal claws have a fucking day. So
Yeah, just in case.
yeah, your arm kind of hulks out essentially, and your fingernails erupt into the talons that you have, the claws you have from your Garu form. While you're down there, when that happens, you see the spiders literally pull back from you like in like a wave. It's as if you are a pebble that got dropped into a lake, and the spiders just skitter back, and you hear their legs just click, clack, 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 clack across the crystalline floor of this garden apartment.
I'm gonna have terrible spider-related nightmares. And
I'm
it's gonna be your fault.
I'm gonna start to recite to them as I go through this house an old familiar sermon about how the demons invaded the land and the light of God had to come and had to force them away back into the darkness where they belong.
I really hope you make this roll.
In the hopes that I do encounter something and I'm able to banish it.
So
The modern day St. Patrick.
as you're sweeping
Hey, I was one of those snakes. Fuck off, bitch.
as you're sweeping your massive talons back in front across your body, essentially while you're giving this sermon, you catch at least a couple handfuls of spiders and just impale them on your claws. And as you get to the end of each swipe, they just go flying off with like greenish, blackish ichor that spatters across the walls. You're following the strands through, and the spiders are still like, they're like waving. Every time you swing now that you're killing them, they kind of skitter in towards you, but then as your claw starts coming back, they kind of skitter away from you, trying to stay out of the way of your talons as you're following this thread through. And you get deeper into this garden apartment. For those outside, Cyrus is gone. So it's like, hey guys, spiders, and then like Cyrus is no longer there.
I'm
in the
following
shadow.
him in. I don't want him to go alone.
One problem at a time, fuckers.
So
Literally, that's all you hear from Linnea is just one fucking problem at a time.
you start to hear this weird coughing from inside, which you're assuming is like a little bit down the hall, like maybe towards where the kitchen area would be in this apartment. And it's super weird being in here, by the way, because usually when you're in an apartment like this in the shadow, like when you're in your house, things have that odd like translucency towards them. They're a little bit like, they're not insubstantial, but you can almost see through like the very edges. It's almost like, there's a little bit of bleed on things.
Right.
Here, everything's crystalline, like it's sharp edges. These spiders, as they've been weaving their webs in here, have started solidifying the presence of this house even more and more so. The deeper you get in, the more you actually get almost like a glimmer of light off of the surfaces in this apartment. But you start hearing this coughing from what you would gather to be probably the kitchen area, to put it that way. You continue on.
Yes.
You hear this sudden clack, 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 clack walking on the tile floor as you get into the hallway of this apartment. Now, Vincent is coming into the apartment as well. Jeff?
Yes, that is accurate.
Okay, so Vincent slips down in as well. Are you still in your Urshel form?
Yes, that is also accurate.
Okay, so you see the tail end of Cyrus going out and leaving the webbed up living room and going into the hallway. You see him start to recede away from you as he starts following that hall down towards what you would assume to be the kitchen area of the 3-flat or the 2-flat. You also hear that reverberation of the clacking of something on the ground. Now, since you're actually in your Urshal form, you can feel against the pads of your paws the reverberations of whatever it is that's walking. Moreover, you feel as the floor vibrates, it's not quite as solid as you perceive.
Oh, okay. So
It's
the
there.
floor itself is weakening.
No, the floor is vibrating. With your senses in wolf form, you can see along the wall. Remember, like I said, spider webs have been all over this place. Larger
Right.
strands too. And that's what he's following it towards. More towards this the kitchen.
More like you're standing on a spider web, not so much a floor.
Would you like to roll? Why you gotta break my heart, Jesse, and give shit?
I'm sorry. I'm the one who put it together and went, "Oh, this is bad. If you're feeling vibrations, that's bad."
Would
I
you
was right
like to
there with
roll your Actually, wits
You and
plus
me,
resolve
Pablo.
would be the
You and
most
me.
appropriate.
Wits and resolve.
Yes.
Step into my parlor.
Something I can definitely do for you.
Yeah.
Exactly
Now,
that,
Cyrus
Corey.
Cyrus isn't picking up because he's wearing shoes. He's in his human form. It's the pads on your feet. A 1.
Right.
Yeah. So
Cyrus is led by the light and direction of the Holy Lord and Spirit. Whatever
Say
you call
God,
it.
sweetie.
So
Honey.
as you feel that vibration, you look down and your eyes focus, and you see really small threads across every surface in here. It's all one interconnected spider web. The main
Giant
threads, those are main lines to the smaller bits of web, so that whatever's deeper in this web is going to feel every single movement in it.
Come closer.
I'm gonna start cutting the webs with my claws.
So you're just like, scratch, 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 scratch.
I'm gonna fuck its web up. I'll bring it to me.
So you start doing this, and Cyrus can hear as he's in the hallway, like the sudden like scratching across the floor from the living room again. And you get the scent. You can tell that it's Vincent. It's your pack mate. Even in human form again, you have a sharpened sense of smell. You smell his fur essentially, his musk, his cologne,
His manly wolf odor.
his
His
ode,
eau de
Spider,
Volpe.
spider, spider, spider.
his ode
Le
de
eau de
toilette.
Volpe.
Yeah, but when he starts doing that, you hear this aggressive hiss from inside the kitchen, and as you get right to that doorway, something actually makes its presence known as it skitters around
I don't
towards
want
you.
to see this. I did not want to see this. I hate spiders. I hate everything. I hate all of you.
Damn.
This thing just walks around the corner and it leans. Its upper torso kind of leans towards that door, and you see these 2 massive spiked claws on what would be humanist arms on it. Just kind of reach over and touch on different portions on the web to feel that vibration. Now, all of its eyes kind of shift and look at you as you're right there. What do you do?
I'm going to tell this demon to be gone.
I really hope you make this roll.
Come on, pull out Sting, stab it in the abdomen.
Do you want to use any dice?
Do you want to use some dice? I don't know. It's a pack right, so I don't really know. There isn't really a roll for it,
It's,
or there is, but
There is. Hold on a second. You're doing a rousing sermon to try to banish this thing back out of the shadow.
that's true.
So it would be probably presence, since you're doing force of personality, I would assume.
Okay.
And as far as skills concerned,
Présence.
let's see here.
Well, I do have persuasion, which is what my specialization is in, and it is the specialization is sermon. So
Go for it. Yeah, definitely. So you're not only using the power of your just awesome physical presence and social presence, but also your skill manipulation to get this thing to get the hell out of here. Demon be gone.
He's using his eau de Volpe.
Be right back. I need to grab a Red Bull.
okay.
Okay.
So the roll total is my persuasion and my presence.
And then a modifier +1 for your specialty.
And then plus 14 d10 because you're awesome.
That's pretty much true.
Do you want to use any dice from the pool before you roll?
I don't know. What does the table think?
We have 3.
We have
Go.
3, man. Grab one.
Use
Go.
1, 2, whatever you think you need.
Yeah. Whatever you're gonna need, man.
You're gonna
Because
need a
I wanna
lot.
get fucking murdered. So
Yeah,
I'll leave
this
one
could be rough.
for Jeff because he'll probably have to clean up my stain.
So you're taking 2. All right.
Yeah.
Give it a roll.
Well, you got at least one success.
I got
So
2.
We could have used that fire spirit here. Made it burn the fucking house down.
you need to get a total of 5 for it to go off. But it can be an extended roll, right? But
Yeah,
every roll is usually a minute's worth of chanting and doing the rite. However, given that this is like, oh shit, get the fuck out of here, if you'd like to spend a willpower, I'll let you do it once per turn to make a roll.
I can do that. I can use a
Right.
willpower because I have them.
So spend your willpower. Now, you do get a success, which means you do stagger it somewhat.
Okay.
The banishment, as you do it, you hear this, and Vincent will hear this 100%. It's like this inhuman mix of a scream and a hiss that just kind of reverberates through all the threads of the web that's under your feet as this thing kind of gets pulled back and actually backs away from Cyrus in pain and fear as you start to do the banishment right. Now,
The power of God will do that to you.
the problem is all the small spiders are not having this shit. You see all the ones around the apartment start to turn and run towards that hallway. Vincent gets the
start
time to
eating them.
act. What are you going to do?
I'm gonna start eating them, chomp by chomp, with my big ass face.
So here's the thing. There are literally hundreds, if not thousands, in this apartment.
Captain Big Face.
You can start chomping, but it's going to be like you'll take out 5 or 6 at a time at most.
I don't
for the
have
person who has the aura.
You got your
off.
mask on, man.
right, but my mask, all my mask does, and this is for Ray too. Any spirits that want to try to affect me, anything other than physically, I get to add my presence to. That's all.
Right. Right
It
now they're
scares them.
ignoring
They don't
you.
want to fuck with me.
Yeah, right now they're ignoring you because you're not the one who did the right or started the right.
Can I use shit?
You can use shit.
Can I assist? Because I also have banish. Can we make this a quicker, more powerful thing?
So, Mage has a question. Ice Storm Blast. Vincent can't do it because the Frostwolf is currently inside of Ethan, who's with the Araka, who's going after the spirit, which is also with, I think William went with them too. Yeah.
Yep, absolutely.
The only
I-
person
I-
who's lagged behind is Linnea.
Yeah. So
Yeah, I told Campbell, fucking get him. Let's go.
So the right hand side, they're all chasing after the 7 conflagrations because one, Robert kind of knows where this thing is going to be going. William knows what it is, and Ethan's just kind of like, I've got the totem and we've got to kill this thing because we've already bit it once. So they're already on their little quest. On this side, Cyrus is doing his banishment right. Vincent's inside trying to find a way to help him out. And Linnea's out like, I got a water spirit. Where the fuck did everybody
Fuck
go?
did everybody go?
You hear that like weird shriek come out from that house, by the way.
I'm going in.
Okay. So you rush over and get in. You
So
hop-
somebody mentioned spiders,
Yeah.
and now I'm hearing
Spiders,
weird
in my
skittering
opinion.
shrieks. I'm going
Yeah.
in. And I still have
The
my aura
spiders.
of go fuck your hand up
The
and
spider
running.
is our mortal enemy. The conflagration is something that needs to be taken care of, but the spider, that's like Father Wolf's mortal shit. We gotta fuck them up.
I said one problem at a time, you fuckers.
Problems don't come
problem.
one at a time, lady.
Yeah, right. They don't come at
No.
a
Take
time.
care of conflagration first. Spider House would have still been here.
Mind you, guys, this is like
spiders are 1,000 at a time. So
this is like 3 or 4 blocks from your place.
Right.
It's
That's the problem.
right down the street. So Linnea gets down just as Vincent's like shit, like he's looking back and forth, like he's chewing at some of the spiders. He's got black and green ichor from the spiders being crushed, running down
Ew.
his maw. But they're not really going after him. They're all starting to rush towards this hallway opening. And you can hear inside Cyrus is giving a sermon to banish this spirit out of the shadow.
Great. You know who else has that right?
All
Right.
3 of us. That's
yeah.
why I asked. Can I help?
So is this going to be a thing where you guys all just rush in and assist with the right? Because if you do that, I'm going to tell you right now, they're going to get some bites in on you guys.
That's fine. Let one or two get a bite in on me. I'm not letting go after the person who's in Hamid. Or whatever
All
human
right.
is.
So since I'll let them 2 do that, I will run. Basically, I'll run defense so they can do it. I'll just start trying to harry them back by biting them, stomping on them, just close enough to Linnea and to Big Baby Chicken Grease over here.
Cyrus.
And to Cyrus. I'm going to be keeping them off. I'll take the bites if they're going to bite somebody.
Okay, so Linnea hops over Vincent essentially while he's in Urshal form and runs into the hallway to start doing the banishment right to assist Cyrus. Go ahead and make
Yeah.
your. How
I'd
do
say
you
for
do
me,
your
I could-
rights?
Mine would be very political, like y'all motherfuckers.
So you're calling like, well, yeah, so here's the thing. I'm going to say politics won't work in this because in this particular case, this is not a spirit that is any part of any court. This spirit is one that actually knowingly breaks the rules of the hierarchies.
You know what? I will
So-
take my presence and my intimidation then.
That works. And actually fits well with what Cyrus is doing, so go ahead.
Presence intimidation. Did I have anything for intimidation? No, I didn't, because my moon kiss is in politics and my area of expertise is empathy.
You can spend a willpower to gain 3 dice.
Yep, doing it.
Okay.
I'm not letting this fucking thing get away. 5 and 3 is 8. Listen here, you fuckface.
Okay.
Yeah, fuckface.
All right, so you start working with Cyrus as Vincent kind of plants himself in the opening, and is basically biting at the spiders that he can. They're swarming Vincent. At this point in time, you can see that they're kind of like a little bit skittering back and forth, like they're not sure what to do, but that second howl, as Linnea starts to chant as well, drives them forward, and they start swarming you. Like, they're literally hundreds along the walls, on the door frame, and the arc of the door. They're actually just starting to fall down on strands of spiderweb as they're descending towards you to get you out of the way. Now, some of the ones that are actually jumping towards you are probably about the size of a toddler. They're huge, man.
Jesus fuck.
I hate everything.
So then this is an Ursus fucking form is needed.
Yeah, this is you are now werewolf. Have fun.
Well-
Urshan. Sorry, Urshan.
As that howl for like needing assistance comes, that hiss comes from the main one, the big ones start coming out of the woodwork. Like, you'll see the walls get torn open, like the ceiling gets torn open, and the larger ones start coming down and literally jump towards you. Mandibles going just crazy. So they're going to get an
Wait, no,
attack.
not Urshan. I'm sorry. It's Garu. Garu is the
Garu
form.
is you're like, I fucked that, I want Garu, which we'll get to do if you make it past this round. But what's your defense?
In this
Defense.
form, my defense is a 5,
Defense.
sir.
All right, so 5. So they're rolling normal stuff for spirits. These are smaller spirits, so they only have usually like a pool of 6 or so. So finesse plus power is like usually like a 6.
And they're physically attacking me, so I don't
Yeah,
include
they're
presence
physically
in that
attacking
at
you.
all.
So
yeah.
their normal thing is a 6. You got a defense of 5. So the first one, let's literally roll and see how many they're going to be. I'm going to roll a random d10.
Yeah.
There's only
There's
one.
just one.
Look at you. This guy gets 1 dice. Luckily, it's not a luck die, so he can, get a lot more, but we'll see.
Sure.
No, he's 2. This thing jumps at you. It kind of scatters all the other spiders away, and when it hits you, you manage to just shoulder it into the doorway, and it just bounces off and skitters to the floor. Now, we get to the next top. Cyrus, you just need to wrap it up with the ritual. She get enough to assist you and actually push it over. So at this point, I'm going to have you roll your willpower versus this thing's willpower, because now it's a contest
Is
of
it
wills.
my full or
Yes.
current? Yay!
All right, so you get 1 success. It got a
And
couple.
You get all of them.
I got 3. So it's holding on, but you can see that it's fighting to stay on this plane, but you're shunting it across the gauntlet right now. It's managing to hold on to essentially give orders to the other spiders that are here, and it's literally howling out. At this point, you can actually pick up the bits of the language. It's essentially like a derivative of the first tongue. It's calling out for those that are here to swarm all of you, as it's getting pulled into the real world.
I will mock it for being weak and pathetic and relying upon its weakness.
Oh,
I
damn.
thought I was mean, going the pagan who's been doing spirit banishings for a long ass fucking time route of walking in and being like, listen, motherfuckers, no one likes a negative Nancy, get the fuck out. I'm the
Wow.
witch, get the fuck out of here.
All
no,
right.
no, we got this guy.
See, what you have here is you have a lapdog of Satan who relies on a weakness and anguish.
Oh my god. I need to get Nate more pamphlets.
Oh my god.
We're buying him all of the pamphlets after this is getting survive.
All right, it's Linnea. Since Linnea was there beside him, you see that the right has gone off. It's just now holding on for dear life to give orders to its other, I guess, children that are here.
Okay.
Do
I'd
you
like
want
to
to do it?
smash it in the head with a Bible?
With my giant fuck-off aura of go fuck yourself, what rank is this spirit?
This spirit, the spider, a 3.
Oh, good, so it's the same as me.
Yes, like Jesse does.
Yeah, I have massive issues with spiders. I fucking hate all of you.
Yeah.
You know what? I am gonna blow another willpower because I think I'm also kind of feeding into a couple of things.
Okay.
Because I'm literally going to intimidate the fuck out of this little shit by stepping toward it and going, listen here. If you don't leave right the fuck now, I'm going to rip your legs off in front of you, swallow them whole, and then spit them out back in your face.
You've been hanging around Jeff too much.
So
Vincent approves.
The pack is really a bunch of nice people when they deal with spirits. Go ahead and roll.
This one, I'm done. I'm not playing this game.
It's just preparation for sending him back to hell where he came from.
So the reason, by the way, I didn't use those 3 dice yet for the spider, I'm like, they're gonna banish me. I'm kind of fucked right now, so I'm not even gonna waste it. So I knew that was once 2 banishments got involved. It's like I'm fucking toast. I'm not gonna waste dice. The spider after this gets like its will is shaken, not because it's intimidated, but because it's pissed off that you're yelling at it and saying all this crazy religious shit, and then it's got Linnea talking mad shit. So its lapse of concentration. You feel that sudden, like, pulse kind of fly through the area of the shadow as it gets completely blasted into the real world.
I do science. One takes brains, the
That's
other
not
takes
good
dark
either.
eyeliner.
We get 1 for the NPCs. We're up to 4 now. I love that.
Not my territory, not my problem.
All right, so Ray, I'll be actually going Garu form,
Okay.
and I'll be swinging for the fences. I have to fight every round while in Garu form.
So we're going to do a different thing here, not a normal. It's going to be kind of a variant of down and dirty fighting. So essentially, I'll let you
I
go
don't
ahead
do
and...
magic, Morty. I do science.
Jesus
One takes brains, the other takes dark eyeliner.
Oh, Nix.
Damn.
Shit!
That's 11.
Okay.
That's 11 dice. Where would you like those to go? Or I'll give you this. I'll give this up to Nix. Nix, you can wipe out the spiders for them, and they don't have any risk to them.
Ooh.
This would be a major change to the environment in the game. So,
But that is one hell of a dump.
yeah, you can have
Damn,
them.
dude.
You can have them basically crush all the spiders that are in the spirits realm right now in the shadow, and get out unscathed if you wish.
And I'll give you Kitten Cam.
Or just like,
Just saying, she's here.
Oh,
Yes, Phoenix! I need a promise.
Nice.
I'm
All right.
sorry. I have to disturb you from the podcast.
So,
Kitty Cam.
Vincent manages to wipe the floor with them. There's some sort of spiritual rightness to what you're doing. You feel another presence here with you.
it's the Lord Jesus.
So
It's Winterwolf, of course.
Right.
It's Winterwolf.
it could be Winterwolf himself, since you do have a aspect of him as your pack totem. And as you're wiping your way through these things in Garu form, you can see frost like ringing off your claws when you strike a spider and just turning them brittle, and they shatter into shards of ice. And you manage to take the entire, cleaning up the house entirely. And as Cyrus and Linnea finish the banishment rite, essentially you manage to seal off this building to that creature as you destroy the webs that are inside of it. Now, there's 2 things you should come to realize. 1, this building has a locust in it.
Nice.
2,
We're gonna have to incorporate this in our fucking territory.
2, that spider host that got driven out of the shadow is in the real world now.
That's a bad day.
That's a bad day.
Since the locust is here, I'll hop over to the real world so I can start laying waste to said fucking spider thing.
Okay,
Because that shit should not be out there either.
I, as a hunter in
So-
darkness, will follow him.
I'm going to continue this on because Nyx saved your asses here. I will say that right now. You did.
Thank you, Nix. We love you.
In the
are the
real
best.
world, this house, this garden apartment is really like run down. There are potato chip bags and like takeout containers and pizza containers everywhere. You get
Like a
into the
squatter
kitchen,
den.
kind of, or there's the TV's on, so like the news is playing. It's not like there's electricity here. It's not like a squatter's place. But what you do see is when you get into the real world, as you transition fully, you're fine. You come into the kitchen where Cyrus banished this thing, and there, on like a bench that has been put against one of the kitchen walls, in front of this table that's been pushed into like the middle of the shoddy, cheap, peeling linoleum floor, you can see this large male, probably 600 pounds at least, leaning back into the wooden bench Now the place smells of old food, stale like milk, and just partially rotten and moldy food. There's a really bad stench in the air. The place is humid as well. It's sweltering. The heat's been turned up to drive off the cold. So it's just a really uncomfortable feeling home. But when you see this individual, he kind of looks over towards you. He's got this wispy, like grayish or like really, really pale blonde hair. The guy has to be probably in his 50s, if not late 40s, somewhere around that lines by the wrinkles on his face. But what really catches you, what really catches you when he looks at you, there's 2 eyes and another 3 eyes on either side of his head that ring up from his eyebrows, and they all shift towards you. He opens his mouth, and as he does so, his bottom jaw splits into mandibles and starts like writhing. You can see that it's bleeding, like it's dying right now. What you have done to its home, all of you, has drastically hurt this thing. And as he starts to kind of like whimper, you'll see movement under his skin because he's wearing just like this really stretched and stained, I guess, wife beater. And you can see under the skin, there's a bunch of movement. Like things are wriggling under his flesh.
Well, I'm in Garu form, and I have to kill things in Garu form, and that's not natural.
No, it's not. So you're just gonna raw.
I have to.
Okay.
I'm in Garu form.
Deliver his soul to hell.
Right. He needs to be gone with his demon self.
You slash down, and your claws, the talons, catch it right in the top of the collarbone and just tear down. And as you do that, as the flesh rips open, spiders just pour out. But they're falling, like they're all like curled up, like they're dead inside. And you can see as they start like bouncing
like
to the
Punisher.
floor. Right, they're dead inside, like the Punisher. As they start bouncing to the floor, you can see all the organs had been made into like almost nests for spiders. The body itself is dead. The spirit host that infected it is what kept it alive. And as you rip all the host out of it, the skin starts to shrivel, and any appearance or semblance it had of being alive starts to fade as it starts to kind of wrinkle and shrivel and dry up.
I'll shift back to Urshan, and I'll be basically pad stomping all the fucking dead spiders to make sure they're dead. They're squished.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
As I pop out with him, I'm going to join him in the squishing of the spiders.
Can we call the 7 conflagrations over to
Just
Right.
cleanse him of honor.
Let him have this house.
Help.
Yeah, so
set fire to this house?
Who Bell wants to know who the fuck is this dude? Oogie Boogie's third cousin?
This is a spider
got
host.
a locust.
This is fucking gross.
It's got a locust. We're incorporating this in our territory.
That's like 4 blocks from your house.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
All right. So, Cyrus, do you come into the real world with them or stay in the shadow? Okay.
Yes, I do.
So you step across, and you can see the handiwork of what your banishment has done. It has destroyed this entire spider. It's dead. It's just what's left of the corpses there. All the bones have been hollowed out. All the organs were fucked up, turned into little nests for these spiders. But they're all dead, and you can see that Vincent is just crushing them under his Garu form, hooves. Jesus Christ, paws.
Urshal, I switch back to Urshal and do it because I can't stay in Garu and not attack.
Right.
Otherwise, and you can only stay and do it a couple rounds, and you go into Death Rage. I don't want to go into Death
It's
Rage.
stamina plus your primal urge.
Yeah, I'm gonna just keep
Okay, so yeah, I would
Fishing.
shift down.
in Urshal. Just squish, 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 squish,
Yeah,
squish.
you guys get rid of them. They're all dead. It's just an old, like, rundown garden apartment, essentially. A lot of... Clearly, this guy was a shut-in. Never really made it out. Everything was ordered in. You see on the table that's in the middle of the kitchen there's, like, a little laptop. And you can see, like, food orders or things like that are up still. Like, he was ordering Grubhub.
Why
Well,
does this motherfucker have the money for this?
he was a sinner.
I'll tell you how he had it. He had bots on Walmart and Target and bought up a whole bunch of
He was selling
PlayStation 5s and
PS5s.
Xboxes.
Yeah.
So you know what? You really are doing the God's work right now.
Death Rage is entertaining for me. It's not good for them. I love it, though.
I'm just gonna keep being my monstrous self and just squash everything in my path.
So I'm going to get that horrific picture off the screen there for you guys.
Yes, please, thank you.
Please and thank you.
It's all good.
So for the other side, we have William, Robert, and Ethan. They're hunting down the 7 conflagrations. Robert is leading you guys almost unerringly through the shadow at this point. He has got a lock in this thing. You can see in the reel where its feet have kind of melted the snow anyways, but you can see also that it's tried to like go down an alleyway and double back. Robert doesn't fall for this fucking trick. He's like, he knows it's going important. He's not fucking around some alleyway. So he's leading you pretty much directly towards this thing. And as you start getting closer and closer, you have gone now a couple blocks away from your territory originally. What do we got here on chat? Spider souls of hell for you. All right, sure. All right, big baby chicken grease. So, as you guys are going,
You guys can't see that, but that's actually Nate's name here on Roll20.
No, they can. They can see it.
they can see it in
on,
chat, like the chat box.
Oh, that's fair.
So, for Robert, as you round a corner, as you go a little bit up towards, like, I'd say around Peoria Street or so, and start heading north after you're following the tracks here, you start to feel a weird change in the air of the shadow. Like something's a little off. Like you're being watched, essentially. Like especially as a hunter in darkness, as somebody who's a tracker, you know that feeling of somebody watching you. And you get that 100%. Now, where you're coming across this building, which means around the corner here, some of the buildings are more solid than others. Some have more resonance in the shadow than their compatriots. So when you round this last corner, and you can see that the 7 conflagrations are running down the street. They're like maybe only a half a block, if that, now in front of you. Because remember, he's not getting hindered by the snow because it's just melting around him. Much like you guys aren't being hindered by the snow, but you do have the sunlight you have to occasionally dodge. Now, in a particular deep block of shadow from the cloud cover, you can see at the top of the building is like 4 or 5 figures standing there. And they're just looking down at you guys.
We got company.
I remember reading. I don't remember which. It may have been in the Hunter's Tribe where there are howls that announce that you're on a hunt.
Sure.
And other wolves tend to let you pass unless they have a severe issue with you.
Sure. I have no problem. You can just howl out in the first tongue, and let people know, like, hey, we're pursuing a target.
Yeah, we're pursuing a conglomeration of fire spirits that are attempting to inflict wounds all in the spirit world.
Who wants to roll their streetwise? Their wits plus streetwise.
Ethan, it's a 2-inch streetwise. Sure, I'll do it.
Okay.
That's streetwise plus what?
Wits.
Wise plus wits. That.
Is it just one, or can we all?
Does he get any bonus for being the embodiment?
No, streetwise is not a thing that Frostwolf gives a shit about. it's not something he cares. And then he doesn't have like stats like you guys do. He has power, finesse, and resistance. And that's it. Now, can people assist? Yes, you can. Let him do his roll first, and then anybody who wants to roll streetwise after that can just add to his successes, as you guys kind of a group mind thing.
No modifiers, so
No.
Submit. I got no successes.
But you didn't get a dramatic failure, so that's good. Anybody else want to toss on there?
I don't have streetwise.
Okay. Russ?
Modifiers, none. Wait, how many do we got?
You guys have 4 dice right now. Or you can blow willpower too. Don't forget, everybody can always blow willpower for the most part for 3 additional dice.
Yeah, I'll blow willpower.
Okay.
Yeah, but I've only got like 5 of those.
Yeah, those go quick.
Okay, there we go.
Wow.
Oh wow. Okay.
All right,
Apparently
so
we suck.
as you guys run
They poops.
and round the corner, you're not quite sure how close you are to anybody else's territory, but you don't think you've traveled far enough to get in anybody else's lands, essentially. So either you're just wrong on your spatial awareness, or somebody else is out in the Badlands too. And like I said, Robert spotted them. There's 4 or 5 people on top of a rooftop. They're in human form looking down on you.
Since I'm pretty stupid when it comes to werewolf stuff, does Winterwolf know? Does Winterwolf have any ideas?
So you look up and you see them, and with Winterwolf's enhanced capabilities, especially in the shadow, you can see this black and burning crown that's kind of like this aura around the guy in the middle. It's an older gentleman, probably 50 or 60 by the side of him, but he's like built. Like he's strong. He's got scars up and down his body, but you do note he has no lunar brands. You get branding on your body
Rascal.
when you get renown. Like the loons burn it into your. They brand your shadow form essentially. This guy has none, but he does have a lot of scars, and he has that weird burning, like smoking, smoldering crown around his forehead.
Almost like maybe he's a pure.
Frostwolf is immediately on edge, like angry. He will basically bark in your mind that is a pure. That's a pure blessed by all of the totems of the pure. That crown on his head shows their favor.
I'm sorry, blessed by all of their totems?
Yep.
Oh! So, like, when I look up and I see it, and I get that response from Winterwolf is like, we've got a big problem. It's like those are all pure, and the one in the middle, he's a big shit.
So by the time you had that conversation with Winterwolf, William lets out his howl, and you see, at least Ethan does, the guy chuckle. And all of you hear him call out in human form in the first tongue, which is kind of rough to do. Like, even in Dalu, it's a little rough. It's a little easier, but it's kind of difficult to get all the right sounds with the human vocal cords. But he calls out in the first tongue effortlessly. He's like, go along, little children. Get your wayward spirit, if you live.
That
Obviously, I
motherfucker
don't
needs
follow,
Jesus.
Right,
rude.
absolutely.
It's fucking rude.
I do believe, yes, Jesus is in order.
Yeah,
Jesus
I
needs
think he's been.
Jesus
he doesn't
needs to
go
hurry
church.
up and catch up.
Yeah.
That's true.
What
We
do
are
you
lagging.
What do you three want to do? They don't make any move towards you. They're just laughing at you.
And if I remember correctly, I know I'm not there, but this is kind of a refresher for everybody. Werewolves don't kill werewolves, even like the pure will go after us, but us going after the pure is still kind of taboo because they're still werewolves, right?
Well, going after them is one thing. Killing them is something entirely different. That's actually a breach of the oath to the moon. Like, you're not supposed to kill the
Right.
werewolves. You know, the people do not kill the people, even if they're pure. That usually counts for that. Like, you don't kill them, unless it's something really grievous that you have no choice but to do it. The pure,
Or defending ourselves.
yeah, the pure depends. Some pure will be like, fine, you know, we're just gonna beat the shit out of you. Mostly pure though, they'll kick your ass, but they're hesitant to kill you, not because they're under oaths of the moon, because they're not. They don't follow Luna at all, but it's mostly because they'd rather convert you. Especially some of
Fair.
the specific tribes, they'd rather talk than fight.
Fair enough. Just wanted to have that refresher for everybody so people weren't like, let's kill them.
Yeah, there
Yeah,
are
I just
some that will
wanna-
hunt you down and murder you, though. I mean, there are some. So, while we're waiting on him, what do you two want to do? Robert can still follow
What?
that trail. It's not going out.
Well, I'll keep an eye on them, but if they're not coming down to assault us, then we've still got a prey we need to kill.
It's legit. What about Robert?
No, we have to get that fire spirit.
Okay. So you guys continue
It's
to
the
follow that
band.
path. Now, he doesn't get that much farther ahead of you, because this only takes like a second or two while you guys are moving. You know, you can point it out while you're actually moving after the prey. It slows you down like maybe a couple steps, but nothing more than that. So essentially,
I just wanted. I was trying to remind you that I have. What is it? I have an ambitious totem.
as a
Oh,
It's a
yeah,
touchstone.
yeah. Our touchstones.
yeah, so that's true, but it's not fighting that.
No. I understand. That's not what it wants to do, though, right? It wants to bring me home to them.
No, not
No?
this. This is all the pure tribes have blessed this one individual, and it's not to make
fair.
friends. and it's not to make friends. So let's put it that way. But in this case, that would literally be a death sentence because he has no patience for converting. So I'm not going to make that happen to you. Sure, there's a pull, but it's like, wait, on second thought, once Ethan's like, hey, blah, 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 and you're like, not a good idea. You kind of shut the fuck up for a minute. We got to handle this thing. You guys continue on after your query. Now, back at the spider lair, what are you guys doing?
Well, I don't see any reason to stay, although,
Right.
you know,
We need to catch back up with our pack.
Yeah.
Okay. You guys going to do it in the real world, or are you going to do it in the
Go
shadow?
back.
No, we got to go back. I'm not going to split. Splitting up like that makes it to where we're a pack. If only half our packs are, we're only half strength.
All right. So you guys slide back across into the shadow. It's a little difficult because this locust isn't quite as strong as the one you guys have at your house, but it still exists. So
it will be.
It still allows you to pass over.
It will
Just
be.
a
It
quick
will.
question. Just a quick question again as a reminder.
Sure.
We can actually affect him. Like we can convince spirits and various other things to affect him, but we can't actually like directly hurt him unless we're in the physical, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. So the idea would probably be to drive him out or wait for that body to burn out, and he has to join the shadow. So
This week on Flip This Locust.
you guys all hop back into the shadow, start pursuing, your companions, your pack mates, and make your way towards them. It's not that hard to find them, essentially, but you do run into that. Once you cross a certain stage, of where you guys are in distance to each other, you start to feel again like Robert did, and like the other part of your pack did. You start feeling like you're being watched.
Hey Ray, what happened with the spirits that I asked in the thing?
I did not forget about them.
Okay.
They're
We got
still
to catch
there.
up on our side now.
They're still there.
I'm just making sure.
No. That very ambitious water spirit is very thankful and is getting buddies right now. So
Yay, get friends. We
So-
appreciate you.
Just don't get them from the sewer. That'll stink.
I don't
think
give a
you
shit if you get them from the
Hell
sewer as
care.
long as the job gets done. My job is completed.
So
Shitburn.
essentially,
Shitbird.
you guys come across the same area they did, where you start feeling like you're being watched. Like it takes a second. Like you're maybe halfway down the block. You're like, somebody's what the fuck? You look around and you see those 4 people on the rooftop just watching you guys. That old gentleman in the middle just kind of waves you on. They went that way and points down the alley, not that far from you.
I'll just kind of raise a paw as I'm trotting that way, like, thanks.
So Robert, William, and Ethan start to hear the pounding of paws on the ground approaching you as you guys kind of round an alleyway, go through the back part of somebody's backyard where the spirit kind of crossed over. And you see that it's running back towards the street now as you hear the rest of your pack start to come up on you.
Well, if they're here, then that's great. But
I'm
Spirit's still
following
on the other
Campbell's
side.
lead, man. I'm following Campbell's lead. He's the scout. He's the tracker. He's the one that runs this guy down, wounds him, and we kill it.
All right. So you guys run through essentially a gangway between 2 buildings, back out to the street, and you slide through like the slick and the icy like surface of the shadow here, and slide around to another sidewalk, and you see this house on the right. Let me get this better for everybody to see it in chat. You see this like 1-story house on your right hand side, and you can see that the footprints are burned into the snow, but there's ice all over the ground and the reel here. Like it's coating the sidewalk and up the stairs entirely. And you'll see in the real world by peeking through the gauntlet, it looks like one of those big like the screw blocks for the not screw block. It's the cap for the fire hydrant is literally embedded in this officer's back, and he's kind of like pinned against the door.
Thank you, spirits.
Yes.
You guys will see like a group of 5 water spirits across the street to your left. On the other side of the street, just kind of like, yeah, they're just swirling around this fire hydrant.
So he is
Got him.
he has a fire hydrant cap in his back, and presumably he's soaked.
This thing, yeah, he's soaked, but it looks like with the cold, it started to freeze immediately. But with his body temperature, it's turning back into water.
I'm going to use Werewolf's ability. Then I'm going to try and frost it over again.
Okay, so it's going to be your 4 plus the 2. So a total of 6 dice.
That's my boy.
Do you want to take any dice from the dice bonus?
We got
Give it
one.
7.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, I would. Let's make it 7.
Okay.
So I'll
So
take
take
one
it
from
down.
I'll take one
Take
from the
it.
pool. And we're going off D10s and 70, 10, and roll.
Oh,
So
damn.
that's 1, 2, 3, 4 successes.
And you get to roll that 10 again.
Yes. So
Get another 10. Get another 10.
oh. It's 4.
Oh,
Okay.
Shame.
Still though, so essentially,
4 is still good.
you can see the officer's like, it's his back is probably it's a couple of cracked vertebrae more than likely because he's bent at an unnatural angle against the door. As he starts to push himself up, and you hear the crack in the body as you're peering, through the gauntlet, you hit him with this blast of frost that literally refreezes. You just hear that clink, 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 clink as all the water starts getting refrozen and spreading out onto the porch of this house. And it slides up his body. The problem is he's so completely soaked in water that when you flash freeze him, he just literally gets coated in a thin sheet of ice. You see his skin go from that burning red color, the angry, like really pissed off red, to a slow purple, then a blue, and then the eyes start to roll back a little bit in its head, and the body starts to slump.
Sorry, guy.
Where's the
Here's a-
ghost?
In the shadow, there's this massive eruption of flame as your old friend reappears.
Good times.
Hi, buddy.
I'd like a howl.
I apologize to the spirit of the officer.
I
Seek to
don't.
go
I'm
after
going to
this
tell the
guy.
spirit of the officer to help us attack the spirit because it killed him.
There is no spirit there.
Damn it!
Sorry, dude. Hope you pass on
And
nicely.
it can't, by the way, even if it was. Twilight and shadow aren't the same thing. Ghosts are in
Gotcha.
Twilight and can go into the underworld. They can't cross into the shadow. Let me pull this picture up here. Hold on. Because I redid some coloring here. Because I like to color. 2 days from retirement. Yeah, he probably was. This pack
He's
just
too
doesn't
old for
care.
this shit.
This pack doesn't care.
Nah, he's too cold for this shit. That's why he died.
For this shit.
Da-da.
Ray?
Yes.
Since we're heading directly into combat and I already know it, I would like to declare the hunter waits.
Remind everybody what that does.
So the hunter waits. The wily predator knows when to wait and when to strike. The perfect ambush requires patience. Cost 1 essence. Action instant. As long as the Aratha remains relatively still and does not draw attention, this facet inflicts a penalty on all perception rolls and supernatural power rolls made to spot him equal to his purity renown. If he successfully launches a surprise attack, he may use his purity renown, or add his purity renown to his initiative.
Yeah, so if you were doing surprise attack, sure, but y'all just murdered his physical body.
He doesn't know I'm here.
No,
The rest of these
no.
fuckers he knows, but maybe
Let's
not.
get this right. He doesn't know that Robert's here. And neither
Also
do we.
accurate.
I will give you all a chance to roll your stealth if you would like. Is that thing not pop? There it goes. This is
There we
the
go.
spirit that reforms itself in the shadow right by you.
I
Now-
have no stealth.
You can hear inside the house this crackling and this hissing of other spirits in the shadow. This thing appears. Y'all want to roll stealth to try to hide really quick as he's manifesting, because it just is a burst of flame and then he starts to just solidify as his
Stealth and
physical
what?
body's dead. Stealth
to
and
try to
dex.
Was normal.
Yeah, I'm not really hiding either.
Shit.
Garu form is standing still.
I'm spending an essence
I have also spent the essence for my gift.
It's
to
almost
activate Shadow Pelt.
Well then,
Yeah, told you we didn't know he was there.
for chat, what does Shadow Pelt do?
So
When this facet is activated,
So
the
good.
Aratha may treat a number of stealth rolls equal to his cunning renown, which is 2, as rote actions.
So what road actions are is that when he rolls his dice, if any of his dice don't come up as a success, he can re-roll them.
Yes, Russ.
So silly.
Get it, you stealthy motherfucker.
Love it.
Yeah.
Damn
Love
right. All right. Stealth.
Russ is breaking out the milkshake.
Stealth and what was it?
Dexterity.
Rote action.
Jesus fuck bunnies, dude.
What did it roll twice?
Yeah.
For some reason, it rolled twice.
So we'll go with the first, which is still 4 successes, which is still really good. Anybody else? So we've got 1 success, and 4.
I'm not even going to try to hide because
I'm not either.
the power of the Lord flows through me, and I don't have stealth.
The power of the
You
Lord
can
flows
roll
through
an
me as
untrained
well.
stealth and just use your dexterity.
I have 2 dexterity,
And by that I mean our totem.
so then I get 1 die.
So do I.
Okay.
Yeah, it's-
I'm gonna.
a man with no stealth doesn't pretend to hide. Not when he's empowered by the will of the Lord.
And God sees all. So is he ever really hiding?
Right?
Do
Are
I
you really
hide?
hidden anyways?
Do I hide from the weak spirits of the devil?
I don't know.
No.
This one already
What I do
blasted
is
you into a library door.
I'm still alive, and that there's
Hey-
a
hey,
reason
Nate.
for it.
That's hilarious.
Hey, Nate, how
Shoot.
many hours of televangelism have you watched in preparation for
I
this
just
character?
grew up in America. That's all.
Is that a question you want an answer to?
Oh, that's so good.
Oh, that's great. All right, let me.
But I am not hiding either. I injured it initially, so plan is to keep going.
I'm gonna hide just because it's easier for me to then snap out and claw it directly in its stupid fucking face.
All right.
I would have all of you know. I will have you note right this very moment. I have never run away from the spirit. It has only run away from us.
That's true.
I'm going to also
It has
have you know
fled.
you've been poked by it
So what?
if it wants to go dodging into a body.
How many wounds did Christ die with?
The question then becomes how many will you die with?
Oh,
That's
man.
so good.
Oh my
That's
God.
rough.
It is
All
a
right.
great honor to die for God.
So,
I don't.
okay, this is.
That's so good.
Like for.
Chris just overtapped like
Does it matter? It didn't stick. Well, it did for 3 days.
Oh my God, this is funny. All
Oh man, this is devolving quick.
right, we're gonna
Welcome
keep,
to the Sermons of Cyrus.
We're gonna keep this moving.
We have now renamed this game.
Welcome to the Revelations of the Shadow. Sermon is about to begin. Please be seated.
All right,
They're
let's
supposed
see
to
here.
rise and then kneel and then sit and then stand and then kneel and
Well,
then sit
you know,
and
it's
then
all
stand.
very informal here. Mostly we're just in it for the sex. So
Okay.
So it's that kind of cult.
aren't they all?
Okay.
Aren't they all? Yeah.
Wow.
And now Ray has lost all control of the stream.
Well, I'm glad we had this.
Please hold while we take a breath.
You made the mistake of assuming any of us are breathing. We're all just vampires pretending to be werewolves, pretending to be vampires.
All right, so
that's what I can't
now we're gonna do
use.
initiative really quick. All right, so we had a really big donation slash tip for the channel that really helped things out with the spider host situation. Since this was a live stream, we have a little more interactivity with the audience from time to time, and we allow them to kind of change things in the game or give bonuses or negatives to players as we go along. And one chatter decided to up the ante, so to speak, and actually got them out of a bind. I think that had it not been for that chatter, they might have been in a really sore spot, at least those 3 that were dealing with the spider host. But it went well. It got them to kind of get a little more experience outside their realm and survive to tell the tale, I guess. And now they're getting ready to encounter the 7 conflagrations in the conclusion. There's more to it that they have to do than just destroy him, but we'll see if they actually manage to even do that, since we did stop when they rolled initiative. So we'll see what happens in the next episode.